Which platform should we be using? We've traditionally been a Microsoft shop. A lot of our team is using ChatGPT. We've heard lots of things about Claude and Gemini. We're just really not sure what sort of platform to get started with. This is a very common question and a fairly tough one to answer. The first thing to know about Microsoft platform is like the Copilot AIs have not received the warmest reception from people. Just anecdotal evidence from customers that I've worked with, from deep research I've ran on the web. A lot of Microsoft users have been frustrated with those initial tools, the AI tools that have come out. So if we look at stats, like ChatGPT currently is dominating use by small business CEOs and leadership teams. Outside of software developers, ChatGPT is absolutely dominating. Gemini and Claude are doing very well with software development teams. We can see that from API usage stats. And Copilot seems to be like a distant third or fourth down the line there. But that being said, I was just watching the Eric Schmidt TED Talk from recently, and he was sort of saying like the most important thing is that you get started somewhere and start learning. And this is a journey of 1,000,000 miles or 1.6 million kilometers, and you just need to get moving and using these tools. But just be careful that you don't get too tied to or committed to any specific platform. The reason for this is it's kind of like battles of the past, like beta versus VHS, if you're old enough to remember those battles. We don't know who's going to win. We don't know, is it going to be Llama? Is it going to be DeepSeek? Is it going to be China? Is it going to be USA? We don't even know. So I typically recommend that you realize this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's a long journey. You need to just start using these tools every day. But when you start building agents or building software on top of these tools, try to build them in a way we call platform-agnostic or LLM-agnostic, meaning that if we build a little automation, you can connect either to Gemini or to ChatGPT or to DeepSeek or what have you with a little drop-down change. That's one thing to consider. But yeah, I read this stat, it was about a month ago, so in the age of AI, that can be pretty old. Something like 37 times X more usage of ChatGPT than the next closest competitor, which was Gemini from small business. So outside of like software developers, they're using a lot of Claude 4 now, and Gemini models for software development. They're very popular, but most small businesses, they all seem to be using ChatGPT even when they're a Microsoft house. So I don't think you can go wrong with the OpenAI suite of services right now. Even if you're a Microsoft house or a Google house, OpenAI, ChatGPT is winning that current adoption battle. So they're probably your safest bet. And really, it's about just getting started and using these tools. Even if you go deep into Gemini or go deep into Copilot, I mean, right now they are not the most popular platforms. They don't have the same sort of support, but we don't know who's going to win those battles. Google has been making a ton of progress, catching up a lot. In the recent Google conference, the I/O conference from a couple months ago, like the models that they released, the progress, like Google, it actually feels to me like their technology is now superior to OpenAI in many places, but it just still hasn't had the adoption on day-to-day use cases from SMB leadership. So yeah, long story short, I don't think it matters too much right now. Just start playing with these tools, because the learning, the preparing your data, understanding how these systems interconnect and work is the most important thing. And learn in a way and build in a way that if Microsoft suddenly wins, you can switch from Google over to Microsoft. If OpenAI wins, you can switch from Microsoft back over to ChatGPT. That's really important, not to get overly locked down into one specific partner, in my opinion, because we're in the middle of a crazy battle and we don't know who's going to win.